Hello, welcome to the Newsy Podcast. I'm Kevin, and today we're going to talk about when the left gets fact checked. And this story is from Think Progress, and it is titled Facebook's Idea of Fact Checking Censoring Think Progress Because Conservative Site Told Them to. It starts off. Last year, Facebook announced that it would partner with the Weekly Standard, a conservative magazine, to fact check news articles that are shared on Facebook. At the time, Think Progress expressed alarm at this decision. Now, after this, they kind of go into detail about all the different reasons why the Weekly Standard shouldn't be used as a fact checker, and it's hard to not agree with them on some of their points. Not the fact that the Weekly Standard is a bad site or anything, but the fact that the idea of a so-called right-wing site fact-checking someone like Think Progress, there could be some issues and some concerns about how these things would take place. Now, before I go any further, I just want to do a public service announcement. Dear conservatives, understand that the left doesn't see Fact Check, PolitiFact, or Snopes as left-wing fact checkers. The left views these sites as either establishment or apolitical or in the center. Dear liberals, conservatives don't view the Weekly Standard as right-wing, air fingers quote. The Weekly Standard has always been seen by conservatives as center-right establishment, a mouthpiece for warmongers in the Washington Beltway Republican Party. Continuing with the story. The Weekly Standard brought its third-party fact-checking power to bear against Think Progress on Monday when the outlet determined a Think Progress story about Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh was false, a category defined by Facebook to indicate the primary claims in this content are factually inaccurate. Now, then they go into, and I won't go into this, about how they basically twisted one word that the author used. Now, I don't know whether or not this is true or any of the case law that they cited, but the main critique that they had was the fact that they seemingly built their case off the misuse of a word and they didn't rebut the claims made by the case law. And that's been one of the critiques that the right has had against places like PolitiFact and FactChecker.org and Snopes. Anyway, the Weekly Standard is one of only 5 outlets that enjoys the power to fact-check other people's work on Facebook. The other 4 are the Associated Press, the 3 outlets that specialize in fact-checking, FactCheck.org, PolitiFact, Snopes.com. No left-leaning outlets has this special ability to fact-check other writers' work. Now then they go on the fact that how you get the fact check, how you get the verification as you're a fact checker, and there's a process, and it's from a group called the International Fact Checking Network, and they talk about all the ways that, basically the Weekly Standard is wrong. It's no secret that digital news business is driven by clicks. A news site that brings in many readers will also bring in a great deal of ad revenue, and this money can be used to hire reporters and to continue the outlet's work. An outlet that loses a significant portion of its readership may have to lay off reporters or could even go under. At its peak, Facebook provided as much as 40% of Think Progress's traffic. Facebook recently changed its algorithm in ways that reduce the amount of traffic it sent to most news outlets, but it still accounts for between 10 to 15% of our readers. The difference between keeping those readers and losing them could decide whether we can hire more reporters who will continue to report on subjects that the Weekly Standard may have ideological disagreement about. I can't say I don't disagree with that in some ways. The idea of a truly far left site, not someone like Snopes, like a really, like Think Progress. Imagine Think Progress being a fact-checking site. It's easy to say if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, but Think Progress has a point in some of its critique about the process. I don't think Facebook should be in the fact-checking game. I think it causes way too many problems. And that and Think Progress is right. They're worried about Facebook throttling their page due to articles being labeled as factually untrue. They claim the Weekly Standards critique is based on word usage and not the actual substance of their arguments. This is exactly what conservatives complain about when we are targeted by left of center or left fact checkers. Think Progress has got to understand that they have common cause with conservative outlets. We don't want our reach throttled or our articles targeted by overzealous fact checkers either. Now, Think Progress, I'm sure if I look back, I would see times where they tried to censor people and they tried to do things that would dramatically lessen the reach of conservative news outlets. But in my eyes, we're not them. So in this respect, I do think that I think Progress has a point, but I also think this is, and I hope in a perfect world this would be a learning experience, and Think Progress would see the error of his ways and they would say, you know what, everyone should be able to talk. And I know these are private institutions, but the way they're handling this, it's going to have detrimental effects on people's lives, and to have our reach dictated by a seemingly far right, air fingers quote, Weekly Standard is unfair. Just like we on the right, on my site, and friends that I know that have sites and have followings on Facebook, we would be considered far right, and we would hate it if someone like Think Progress, if they were fact checkers, or PolitiFact were to come along and to seemingly knock us off due to word usage, and they won't even debate the actual facts of what we're talking about. Look, you be the judge. You let me know what you think. You go down in the comments. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be saying, I don't care about Think Progress. They're getting what they deserve. Hey, can't argue with that. But I hope that people that actually read Think Progress actually sit back and think, you know what, censorship, everyone should be allowed to talk. You know how you stop speech? You know how you deal with speech you don't like? Is more talking. You rebut the things that they say. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you next time. Peace.